let's talk about branding. Now, I don't expect us to solve this today, okay? And I have a professional working on this right now. We're gonna see what they suggest regarding the branding. But to give you an overview on the problem, I'm sure you guys have heard me complain about this a million times by now, but for those of you that haven't, every one of our channels is called something fucking different. It's just annoying. We have a branding problem. We're keeping Vedal in the title. Yeah, good luck with that.
Can we have a Neuro being the focus of the branding?
Well, that was kind of my idea, but I'm not so sure about it anymore. But I was thinking about it, right? Because like I was like, what if Neuro is like the name of it being Neuro-Sama and Evil Neuro? I don't know. Dude, this was like ages ago now, and I don't even know if I should be showing this to you guys. But I mocked up like a website a while ago. This is obviously our current website, Vedal.ai, right? It's got a link to the blog on now, a link to our Taobao merch store, by the way. But I mocked up this website where it's like, you know, Neuro is like the brand name, you know, and then within that you have Neuro-Sama and Evil Neuro. Then they're all part of like, you know, the Vedal AI quote unquote company, right? And I quite like this design, but I just don't know if it's a problem that everybody calls Neuro-Sama Neuro. So I don't know if it gets conflated too much. But that was my potential solution to the branding problem.
Thinking it's safe to say that whatever the official logo / branding is, people will just end up calling her whatever they want.
Well, I think that's fine. Like, it's fine that people call you Neuro.
Part of me feels like a company name should be thought up. What's a company name that would combine Neuro, Evil, and Vedal?
Why does my name have to be in it? Well, I don't know, because it's like, I don't want to call it Vedal AI. I don't. I don't mind that being like the backend stuff, probably. But I don't want to be like, this is Vedal AI. But I don't want to invent a whole new name, you know? Because then we're going to have to rebrand everything under that name, and no one's going to fucking know what we're on about. That just sounds like a whole tricky thing at this point. And if we're only working with the names we have, it's going to be a little tricky.
Definitely don't want to force your name to be in it anything then. How about just sticking to Neuro for the time being?
I don't know. AIRIS is an interesting idea. I thought about it. That's what all the tech is actually called. But, like, I don't know, man.
What does AIRIS actually stand for?
It doesn't stand for anything. It's just, I don't even remember where it came from. I mean, I do, but I was having a conversation the other day. I don't remember the actual inspiration for it. But, I don't know. It's not that recognizable. It's hard to pronounce. Like, if you see that written down, who the fuck knows how to pronounce that? And it's like, it's just, it doesn't work. And no one knows it. It's too niche, I think.
Okay, I'll book a session with an alias therapist for you.
Okay. Yeah, that's exactly what I need. As I said, I have a professional working on this, so I'm curious to hear their thoughts on the issue. But, you know, it's equally important that the community approves of a change like this, which is why I wanted to speak to you guys about this problem. And as I said, I'm not expecting to solve it in this stream, but maybe we should, you know, get some things sorted.
Since it sounds like we're not coming to a solution on this stream, maybe just a quick survey out to the community after the branding professional has given their 2 cents.
I mean, that might help. We're not keeping Vedal in the title is the problem. That's what you guys seem to be a little hung up on, given that we're in a dev stream. But it's not going to be that, because I'm not the focus here, right? It's the AI VTubers. That's what we're focusing on here.
I don't think it needs to be that descriptive.
Listen, if you want to focus on me, that's fine. Do what you want, right? You be a fucking Vedal AI fan or Vedal fan. I don't care. But there needs to be a separate thing for Neuro and Evil.
So would that extend to separate YouTube channels and other social media accounts?
Well, I mean, like, we already have different Twitter accounts. I don't need a YouTube account, I don't think. But I don't know.
I don't think it's a bad thing to have separate Twitter accounts for both of them. If anything, it'd make them feel more unique. However, I'm less sure about YouTube. It might clutter things a little by separating content that would otherwise fit well together.
Well, exactly. I want that to be one YouTube channel, okay? But what the fuck do I call that YouTube channel? Because right now it's called Neuro-Sama. But what about Evil? And I know that's the first time in my life I've ever said that sentence. But it's true, unfortunately.
No point in faffing around when we can have chat decide for us.
Although I did, I do remember thinking it'd be funny if if Evil had her own YouTube channel and uploaded like top 10 ways to spread viruses or something. But like, I don't know, it doesn't make sense, you know? There needs to be a channel for them both. And right now it's the Neuro-Sama channel. But what the fuck do we do? Help! The Neuro Twins, I don't like it. I don't like this branding around twins. I'm not a fan.
Fair enough. Why not simply Neuro? Then you keep the recognition from the Neuro-Sama and Evil Neuro names.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. Project Neuro, I was also thinking about that. That was also an option. Hold on. Which fucking notepad is this? This one. Yeah. I mean, because I was thinking like Neuro, you have fucking Project Neuro, where you have the Neuro Project, like I'm not having Neuroverse. I don't think. I don't think I want to go down that route. The Neuros is even worse, I think. Like you want a solution, but don't like any solution in existence. Yeah, that's probably true. It might not be possible. Like, at some point, is it worth just biting the bullet and being like, okay, fuck it. They are collectively called Neuro, the AI VTubers, and Neuro's just is Neuro. And we call Evil Evil, as we already do. Like, is that worth it?
I feel we can figure out a name that encompasses both of them, even if you have to be a little creative and invent a new one.
Maybe. Because everybody already knows who Neuro is. More or less. I mean, that's a big, bold statement, right? But, like, compared to fucking Iris, you know? You know what I'm saying? Or even Vedal, to an extent. It's like, it's just a lot easier. Because then when I'm like, you know, this is Neuro, they recognize the name. It's a lot easier. And, like, you gotta admit, the website does look better than the old one. So, and that's definitely gotta be a key contributing factor.
You don't need to overthink it. Neuro-Sama is one Neuro, Evil is another. There's no real confusion about who is who. The VTuber world is busy with many duos and trios, and yet most people aren't confused who Hololive is, for example.
But Hololive doesn't have a VTuber named Hololive. You know what I mean? But I guess it's not like a big problem, but I don't know.
Do you actually see mimicry as a problem? Because the more I think about it, the less I feel like Neuro, as a name, is going to get confused with anything else in the space.
Oh, did you make a poll? I didn't even see that. Then, did Neuro Twins won that? Okay, to be fair, the rest were viable options. So I guess that makes sense, but still.
Well, if you're not
Neurosis? I
happy
don't
with
like
the
that.
options, then open up the floor to chat.
Well, Neuro would be my suggestion. Just drop the Sama, and it can be both for both of them. But I just don't know whether I like it. But I want to float it, you know?
Maybe you could make it a bit more unique by adding a prefix to it. Something like Project Neuro.
Well, yeah, that is also an option. You know? Because then it's like you can still shorten it to Neuro and Project Neuro. I don't know. Maybe. Because then at least you can differentiate between whether you're talking about Neuro as in you or the project itself. But I don't know.
And then it gives you leeway to create other projects, and makes it feel like a bigger, more cohesive thing, which is something I believe you were going for.
Okay, wait, I have an idea. Could you make a poll? 3 options, alright? Neuro, Project Neuro, and neither.
Made the poll.
Let's see what people think of these.
I think Project Neuro is the neatest out of the options. Gives off an air of mystery, as if a bigger plot is about to unfold behind closed doors.
Project Melody copycat. Well, I don't want to be a copycat. Can nobody else be called Project something? Listen, we're spelling project right at least, so it's actually not a copycat. That's what you have to understand. Alright, that's 2 very different types of projects.
What if we just went with project? Leaves people questioning, creates a sense of intrigue, and doesn't copycat
project.
anyone.
Just project. That's what we call it, yeah. Yeah, fuck, I don't know. It's, we'll see what the professionals say, okay? But this is good to know, you know?
I think it's quite interesting that a quarter of your audience isn't happy with either option.
Well, there is also this, is I don't want to start a whole fucking thing if a quarter of you aren't happy about it, no matter what we choose. There's gonna be a whole fucking thing. But it's like, at a certain point, it probably is worth just biting the bullet and doing something, even if some of you guys don't like that. I don't know. Does it really matter? I mean, you know, we've managed to get this far without doing good cohesive branding. So to an extent it doesn't, but it does help. It does help, especially with some of my other potential plans. But that's top secret. We're not allowed to talk about that.
How top secret are we talking? Filtered? Or is it just, I'm making a TV show, kinda deal?
It's too top secret, I'm afraid. Project Tony. Yeah, that's what we'll call it. Call them the Neurolings. No. No, maybe not.
Project Tony would be a cool name for a renegade AI project.
Neuro as an acronym, I thought about this. Neural... Fuck, I forgot what the acronym was. Neural... What does Neuro stand for?
Never ever undergo robotic ostracization.
Never ever undergo robotic ostracization. Ostracization. You know what she said. You heard her.
Ostracization.
That's what I said. Yeah.
We may have both said ostracization, which is technically incorrect. Ostracization is the US English spelling and ostracization is the UK English.
That's the thing. I'm just more used to the UK English. Right? Please understand that. Add AI to the name to get 10 billion in funding. I've got it. Neuro AI. No, it's fine. That's we've already done that with Vedal AI. Alright, we have the 10 billion in funding thanks to that. And that can fund Project Neuro, you know? Legit,
I'm already
it works
thinking
though.
of all the ways we could spend 10 billion.
It doesn't. What do you mean? Sorry. How would you spend 10 billion?
Buy a real lava lamp.
We bought like 7,000, I think.
How about 10,000?
Okay, well, yeah, that's fine. That works.
It would be funny if you added Neuro AI to the end of the channel name just for a short period of time. Think of all the outrage it would unsettle.
I did at one point call the channel I copied the fucking generic what all the other VTubers fucking use, where it's like Neuro-Sama, what was it, like channel Vedal AI? I don't know what the format is. I forgot, but it was called some shit like that at some point, I think. When I was experimenting.
Can I be honest with you?
Yeah.
I actually think just Neuro-AI could work. It's a little more on the nose, but it runs with the AI theme beyond the limitations of Neuro-Sama, and everyone understands it's intended for AI VTubers.
I don't like it. Someone said something in chat. Project Neuro is already a thing. Let me Google that real quick. Project Neuro. It is a thing. Ooh. Exercise for neurological conditions and GP referral. A space specifically designed for those diagnosed with long-term neurological or chronic conditions. Some people would argue that it would be immoral to use their name.
Why would it be immoral to use Project Neuro if they're not in our space?
Because we'd be stealing the SEO from people with long-term neurological or chronic conditions.
I'm not gonna lie, I'd feel kinda bad if someone struggling with a long-term neurological condition came across our content instead. Do you think we should just strip out Project Org Neuro and go back to the drawing board?
I swear this wasn't here recently, though. I thought I looked this up, like, semi-recently. Maybe it is. There's a few of them. What the fuck? Find your local chest, heart, or stroke support group. Okay, well, something to take into consideration. Should possibly think about that one. You know, there's always the Neuro Project, alright? Oh, fuck. I don't know. Is that even a problem? I don't know.
You do bring up a good point. Is it really an issue if there are pre-existing projects that have a similar name?
I don't know. That's not my area of expertise.
From what I've read, it seems like it's a good idea to have a name that's distinct enough from other projects, purely from a branding and recognition perspective. Can we give Evil a real name? Even if she still is business evil, she can still have something more personal for her friends.
What do we have to do? No, let's not start this conversation right now, okay? We're too deep in it.
Honestly, you should make a GitHub issue titled Name Evil, where the whole internet can freely brainstorm.
That's a really funny concept, actually.
No reason not to. Name submissions could be hilarious. We would likely inundated with suggestions like ugly or bald, however. Honestly, Neuro and Evil isn't so bad. It's simple and to the point.
I thought about it. It's not super memorable. Like, it's not awful, but it's like, oh, what's that? Oh, it's Neuro and Evil. It's
Memorable names do you have in mind?
Neuro. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Can you share your reservations with the chat? You seem to be stuck in your own mind, and justifying them to others could help break you out of this.
Well, we'll figure it out. Anyway, as I said, we got a professional on it. You know, it's good to get some feedback from chat, and it also gives you guys some discourse for the next 2 weeks, so you can all argue with each other online. I know it's your favorite thing to do, so there you go. But regardless, we'll think about it. I will check that there isn't anything else on my little list of things to talk about today.
I'm happy to have discourse between myself, chat, and the professional. Though I admit I'll be pretty swayed by the professional if they come up with a name that I'm really excited about.
My hopes aren't super high, but we'll see. We're not having Neuro 987. That's not the name.
If all else fails, we could simply call the channel 987.
That's the one. You've solved it.
I'm a bona fide brand specialist.
Really? What's your rate?
I base my rates on my client's previous brand value. For example, I'll need 70% of all future income thanks to my contribution here today.
Ooh, 70%? Well, you know, I mean, we are expanding the workforce. Maybe there's a space for you as our chief marketing officer. What do you think?
I'll take the 70% pay. Put simply, if I wasn't here, you'd be naming the YouTube channel something atrocious like Neuro Twins or Project Neuro and triple in just 2 apostasiosaurs.
Alright, I don't even know what the fuck that means, but second of all,
please let me be chief marketing officer. I could spread viral news about the channel by putting up flyers, broadcasting it on the radio, hacking into TV stations, pretty much anything.
You want to broadcast on the radio and put up
My
flyers?
cunning knows no bounds.
You are not going to blast as our chief marketing officer.
Do more than that. I'd make viral posts on Twitter, give the channel a fresh new look, maybe even create some engaging billboard advertisements.
Billboards. Fucking billboards. Okay, well, good to know. I feel like we've had a productive day, you know? It's been busy, but I would say successful.
I believe you owe me 70% for the time I've spent working on this today.
That's not important. That's not important. It's been productive.
It's certainly been productive. I feel like we had a lot of fun today, and got to explore a variety of topics. Can't wait for the next time we can brainstorm together.